Born in 1963, Justin Lee is one of Singapore's foremost contemporary artists, known for his pop-flavoured works with an essence of a local culture. Upon graduation with a diploma in fine arts from LaSalle College of the Arts, Singapore in 1999, he was one of the 6 local artists handpicked to be trained at the Tyler Print Institute in New York with world-renowned artists such as Frank Stella and Donald Sultan. He then graduated in 2016 with a Master of Fine Arts at LaSalle. He has participated in numerous artist-in-residence programs in Japan, such as Fukuoka, Studio Kura, Itoshima Art Farm, and Tokyo Yokobo. Be Together presents Justin Lee's new body of works that is based on the Nanyang Children Story Books, consisting of 18 paintings and 12 prints of playful narratives conceptualized sometime in 2019. Travel back in time with the artist as he reunites with his childhood memories and visuals. The Nanyang Children Story Books, which Lee used to read in his early teens, are not unfamiliar to many who grew up in the late 1950s and 1960s. Post-Cold War, the Southeast Asia region saw a rise in children's magazines imbued with educational values and political ideologies. The Nanyang Children was one of the mainstream pictorial magazines published in Hong Kong, with a heavy market share in Singapore, Malaysia, and other Southeast Asia countries. Many young readers of that time eagerly read and awaited the latest issue of the Nanyang Children. Known for its exceptional storytelling and superb drawings, Lee is no exception. As time passes, the popularity of these magazines later waned, perhaps due to the advent of technology, and eventually ceased publication in the 1990s. Lee's memories of these readings also quietly faded into oblivion. Many years later, serendipity brought them together. The now artist Lee was flipping through these storybooks given by a friend 15 years ago, and somehow an inspiration struck. In Be Together, Lee's identity undergoes a transformation from a reader to a storyteller of these age-old visuals. The shift from a receiver of narratives to a creator of his childhood memories and his hobby of reading fetches his personal stories and narratives from within. As he traces along the lines of the history of publishing and how technology changes us and the way of things, we see more and more of the now and then, the influence of Western civic values, such as the concept of superheroes surfacing in his works, though they were taken reference from a supposedly predominantly Nanyang-focused content. In this series, his paintings are reimagined as book covers, as if they were all due for publication in today's context. Having to rework this topic allowed Lee to expand on this painting language as he incorporates his style into the covers, or rather add a uniquely Justin Lee mark on them. While some read in Justin's previous works criticism of social problems brought about by such developmental and economic trends as rapid modernization and globalization, the new series of paintings signals a departure from direct confrontation. Justin revisits the calm enjoyments many of us derived from children's magazines as we escaped into the stories of old and new narratives, vividly visualized in vibrant palette. The artist understands well that any attempt to replicate the visually induced nostalgia betrays the specific context and relationship of the individual reader and viewer. Hence, Justin chooses to create dreamscapes with elements from the memory and experiences. What he conjures up is visibly soft, complex, and romantic. In a group which departs from the poster-colored opaqueness, Justin nuances with a jewel-like palette and nebulous textures. Worked simultaneously, Be Naive and Be Game share a tree-like motif in mid-painting, each with a ladder or climbing device leading into the tree canopy, composed with oil painting-like blotches and dashes, still in acrylic, of blossoms and foliage in exquisite emerald, rose quartz, ruby, and topaz. Seemingly as a pair, each work is different too. The boy and girl are missing from Be Game, while a paper ball in Be Naive is outlined but uncolored. The dreamlike atmosphere of the background feels like us watching droplets of emerald drip and dissipate into the water. In two other works which he also worked on simultaneously, the blossoming tree motif expands and becomes a luxury of Jam's garden and a butterfly shape against a brilliant azure, only possible with handmade pastel stick. Justin cheekily disrupts the dreamlike serenity with irreverently placed white voids in two big stripes, and with a cutout of the boy who is Justin's alter ego, his nicely combed hair and shoes in safflower red. While it is difficult to pinpoint which moment Lee is venturing into at the moment, pop art has always been a huge part of Lee's art vocabulary. Rather than replicating American pop art, Lee wishes to imbue new meaning to the art form by incorporating cultural influences of his own. With the use of a material consumed solely by the Asian culture and flat yet abstract visuals, Lee is opening doors to a new practice that may be just what the present day gives rise to. Since 2002, Justin has participated in numerous solo and group exhibitions locally as well as internationally. His works are permanently collected by important private collectors as well as the Singapore Art Museum. His work was also commissioned by Land Transport Authority of Singapore and displayed at Maxwell MRT Station from 2022.